Welcome back to the Charles Eoghan experience. Good to see you.
All right, yeah,
how's the week been?
Well, good. I've had better weeks. I've
Yeah.
been injured. I won't say where.
Yeah, don't say where.
Don't say where. It's in my brain.
It's traumatic brain injury.
And then
Yeah,
anyway.
you've been working around that.
Yeah,
in the
been
weight
working around
room.
it. Yeah, we good. We still doing.
Still crushing.
Yeah, still crushing.
Still crushing.
Won't go into it too much in case I slip up and say something I ought not to.
Let's not get into that.
Yeah.
Did you? So you watched the fights last night? Leon Edwards, he did fucking well, man.
I only watched the highlight of that.
Have you not?
Yeah, I didn't watch the full fight.
We just spoke about it. Yeah.
I just a highlight. Nice little kick to the head.
It's fucking sick, man.
Yeah.
Takes him down the first round as well.
Does he? Yeah. Maybe I'll watch it then.
Yeah, got his back. It was slick.
I watched Page's match.
Yeah.
Michael Page, enjoyed that. He cut the guy's face quite a lot.
Mate, bare knuckle boxing is just such a fucking tough sport. It is savage, man.
I just worry about the wrist. Like, I just imagine punching someone, I'm going to hurt my wrist.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm shit, obviously, but even if you're not.
But that's the difference though between like in boxing and MMA, you do have that all that tape as well. I guess MMA is like same thing. They break their hands very easily. But boxing, you've got an 8-ounce glove.
But yeah, bare knuckle. It just seems like your wrist would just flap about when you're punching people.
Imagine punching someone as hard as you can and you punch them in the top of the head and your wrist.
But he
just goes
cut the guy's face with that.
Did
he overhand righted him, and he cut him twice with one punch.
Mike Perry cuts up as well though. He's got so much scar tissue on his face.
Does he? Yeah. Well, he got cut up. He looked like he'd been to Croydon, not Wembley. Poor Perry. Yeah, and he won somehow.
Fucking brilliant.
Anyway, yeah. Like by damage, obviously, I would give it to Mike. It's just whatever. I don't do boxing, so I can't really. I'm not qualified
Not
to
a fair judge.
Yeah,
No.
to judge it properly. But
Yeah. Damn.
just looked like he was much less hurt.
Yeah.
And then what else?
Anthony Joshua.
AJ.
A bit of a performance in the post-fight interviews.
Yeah, that was his best performance to date. That interview was
That's his best
something else.
I agree.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, that was Joshua's best performance to date by far. Fuck, man. Savage.
Yeah.
Let's get into some questions.
Let's do some real shit, real fighting, jiu-jitsu.
Right, let's go Flanagan first.
All right.
So we had a question. How did people react when you decided to take on jiu-jitsu full-time? Parents, friends?
I think they thought it was a better idea to do my uni and get a fallback option in case I break my leg.
Yeah.
But little did they know you break your leg all the time.
Skiing.
Yeah, but just doing jiu-jitsu, you just break your leg all the time. So you just continue, I guess. You expect to get an injury. I don't think they realised that would be very commonplace. But I think they meant if I was like actually disabled and I couldn't walk for a long time, then
Yeah, like you can't continue to do jiu-jitsu.
But they were fine. I was always, I was given lifts to training all the time. Yeah. And even when I went to uni, I didn't spend my time doing any of the studying. I just went to jiu-jitsu. Yeah. They found out about 3 years in that I hadn't gone to any classes.
Did you finish the degree?
I finished the degree.
In economics, yeah?
I got a degree in economics, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks, mate. I didn't go to the graduation because it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Wait, so bit of context as well. When did you start like martial arts? Because you started judo quite young, yeah?
Yeah, I started judo when I was 4.
Yeah.
I did it till about 12, and then...
That's a pretty solid amount.
Yeah, I got to green belt, and then I stopped for 2 years, played RuneScape for 2 years, and then literally for 2 years.
Obsessed.
I think I had 2 years playing time. No, obsessed. Yeah, that's a fair comment.
Obsessed.
Like it's all I do essentially, and then and just like normal school shit or whatever going out.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, okay, that's enough, and then I quit RuneScape. And then just started jiu-jitsu and judo again at the same time at 14.
Okay.
And then
so you started jiu-jitsu when you were 14?
Yeah, I started jiu-jitsu at 14,
and
now I'm 26. So
sick, man. So
12 years of jiu-jitsu.
12 years of jiu-jitsu. When did you get your black belt?
Did when I was 22.
Sick.
So 8 years.
It's pretty young to get your black belt.
Yeah.
At what age did you feel like? Did you just take to it very quickly?
Uni, and I realized how shit economics was. I wanted to do jiu-jitsu.
So from 18 to 22, that's when you really like fucking buckled down and crushed.
Well, from 18 on, basically no, from like 14 onwards.
Right. How much?
Actually, there was a time. There was 1 year in uni when I was literally training. Not even a year, like 2 semesters where I was training once a week.
Really?
Because that's all the classes there were. Yeah, it was on a Wednesday.
Got it.
And I got to 86 kilos, and I was like, damn, I'm getting fucking fat. And then I started.
You got fat 86 kgs.
I wasn't getting fat, but I was like, I was like, damn, 86 kilos, and like I'm starting to look it too. But not like I was going to the gym all the time. So yeah, then I just started going like super heavy on all the jits and everything, and cycling and everything.
Got it. You love cycling, man.
Fuck cycling. But I had to cycle because I was broke and no one would give me a lift.
Wait, so from 14 to like, let's say 14 to 18, you were kind of like, I'm kind of good at this, I've got a good judo background, you picked it up quite easily?
I was doing judo as well till I went to uni basically.
Right.
So yeah, and then I stopped judo when I went to uni and then started doing all no-gi.
Yeah.
And I was doing gi from 14 to 17 and then stopped, probably a bit longer in the gi actually, probably like 14 to 18, 19 and trading off the gi at like 18, 19.
Why did you stop the gi? You hated it?
Just preferred no-gi the more I did it.
Yeah.
I don't know, started doing heel hooks and then I was like, yeah, I felt like every time I was doing gi, I was kind of wasting my time, may as well be doing no-gi.
Got it.
I enjoy more. And then, and less laundry.
So,
yeah,
save
it's
the
a big
laundry
difference.
bills.
Yeah, not even the bills, just the pure time and effort of carrying around a gi and all that shit.
Yeah.
Fuck that. So yeah, and then obviously, I'm pretty sure my grandparents wouldn't approve of jiu-jitsu, and they still don't on the Irish side. I think my French side are more into sports, but at least the Irish side are just like, that's not a job.
Really? They're like, you should do something else.
Well, they were saying that, now they're not.
Yeah, now they're not.
Now they're not. Now they can make money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You can make a big career out of this, man.
Yeah, you don't even have to be good at jiu-jitsu. You can just sell bullshit. You don't even have to do a real martial art. You can just do Krav Maga and make hundreds of thousands selling BS aeroplane hijack self-defense courses. You joke.
Who was it? Joke. Yeah, I remember he sent me this.
I won't name it, but it rhymes with Schmotel Krav Maga.
You sent me this one, how he's got his class in a bar and they're replicating bar fights in a bar.
It's like Bas Rutten with no training. He just walks into a bar and starts fucking palming cuts.
Oh my God. Who was that cop, that police officer that was going viral for showing terrible moves? You got his name?
Oh,
do you know his name?
What's his name?
Hello, this will immobilize your thing. And he's
what's it called?
He was huge.
It's like...
Put it up, Christian.
Pull that up, Jamie. Yeah. What was his name? Fuck. Yeah, we know who you're talking about.
Anyway, that was hilarious. He's probably making dough, man. He went viral.
Of course, of course. I imagine his classes are well subscribed to by base America, I guess.
Yeah.
Anything goes.
Just bringing back to grandparents, they're a bit more accepting now. So you didn't get any pushback during the time? Was there an infinite decision how you're like, I want to do this full time in case it's full time?
There was a time where I was thinking to drop out of uni just to do it, and I was thinking to drop out of uni, and then my mum convinced me not to drop out, just to do both. And like, to be fair, uni was good because I got maintenance loan and I could spend it just like, enjoying myself whilst training.
Nice.
So it was a healthy balance.
What did you spend it on?
Of life and jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Bit of weed, bit of booze.
Yeah, it's just uni stuff.
Yeah.
Meal deals and that.
Books.
Yeah.
Etc. So this leads on perfectly to books. to a question we had earlier. So you're doing judo and jiu-jitsu at the same time. Surely that would have helped your like stand-up game as well.
Yeah, I feel like I was decent at stand-up, but then I started realizing that it's basically pointless in jiu-jitsu competitions where people can pull guard. You spend all your time. It's just like time allotted to doing stand-up training, and then someone just pulls guard. And also, a lot of the judo moves, like you get an ippon, whatever you do it. Like I used to like seoi-nagis with just shoulder throws, but you'd land giving people your back.
Yes.
Most of the time. The only ones that would be okay is if you have the collar grip, because I guess if you have the collar grip, they're always technically in front of you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just not really worth the time. So I slowed down and started. Also, pulling guard was way more efficient in the gi. Like I don't know if. Like when you're like a white and blue belt, basically if you get to close guard, you've won the match. you pull guard, you get to close guard, you get a shitty sweep off that.
Yeah.
Then little scramble, reset, both standing, pull guard again, the match is over.
Yeah, stalling, winning.
You have won.
Yeah, points and win. That's a good tactic for the blue and white belts, man.
Everyone knows it, I'm pretty sure. That's what makes jiu-jitsu so horrible to watch.
Especially at those lower levels. Even the higher levels, man, the stalling tactics, pull guard, get a sweep.
Yeah, but they're a bit more like, it's harder to just straight up stall and close guard at the higher level because you got to actually get there. I feel like after a certain level, people just don't let you get in close guard whatsoever anymore.
Yes.
They just, and if they do, you just stand up out of it and you're very used to the whole stepping out of it, it's coming back up if people tip you over, all that shit. But when you're a white belt, you just don't have the finesse to, or the balance to just stand up.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, someone's going to sweep you over.
You're just going to get pulled down every single time because you don't get that the more upright you stand, the easier. But then every time someone stands upright, they get tipped backwards and they don't like it. So, yeah, I guess got to just learn that quickly.
Do you think stand-up's a lot more important now than no-gi scene?
Oh yeah, the no-gi scene, yeah, because I think it's better to be on top in no-gi, to be honest, because purely from the fact that you can force engagement if you're stood in any shape or form. Like if you're standing there standing, you can force engagement. If you're standing there seated, you can force engagement. But if you're seated, you don't really want to butt scoot towards people. That's just, it looks shit and it feels shit. And I feel like you're getting way more tired, like posting your hand and moving your butt compared to them like zigzagging around you and shit.
Way more energy expenditure.
Yeah, and yeah, just, I don't know, it doesn't really feel like a martial art when you're just pulling guard.
No.
Like I didn't really care about that for a long time, but now I just think like it is just a bit ridiculous. If you want people to watch it, you don't want people pulling, like at least 2 people pulling guard is so ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a joke.
Yeah.
You want to see some nice takedowns, get some good takedowns.
But that said, I will do anything to win a competition, so if there's money, I'll pull guard, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Over and over again.
Repeatedly pull guard.
Yeah. So, but yeah, stand up. Also, it's good. You know, it's a whole strategy to get to. You know, if you can't get someone's back from the ground, if you make them stand up, there's much higher chance that you could get really good positions. Like, for example, if I train with certain people, you know, they'll never catch me on the ground. But if we start standing, they're much more likely to catch me with something.
Yeah.
Like, silver basically.
Something off a takedown attempt or something off a takedown. The way you land, the way you move. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically training with silver. You like, if I'm shooting and stuff, if I'm shooting or if I'm starting from standing, there's much higher chance that he gets the good positions on me than if we're just playing on the ground.
Got it.
And yeah, so yeah, that's why it's very good if you're good at wrestling to like force people to stand.
Yeah, so it's key to develop a good stand-up game.
Yeah, depends what your goals are in
Jits.
Yeah, in jits. Like if you just want to stay safe and not get injured, I would say just playing guard all the time is probably the safest way of going about that.
Okay.
But
that actually leads into, sorry, go.
Yeah, but if you want to be winning all the competitions and like always be able to force engagement and have exciting matches, then you want to be able to do some wrestling.
Get some good wrestling.
Yeah, that's
nice.
it.
What would you recommend for older people in injury management? Speaking of injury management, old fellas.
It's just very difficult, isn't it? I feel like
more gi.
I feel like the gi fucks up your hands and lower back more, and potentially your knees from the twisting with the friction.
Yes.
Like even some delahiva, when people have it wrapped in tight and your foot is planted and they start spinning around you in delahiva,
it can be tight, man.
That could literally just pop your MCL.
Yes.
Just that, the hanging of on one side of your hip whilst your foot is planted, that could literally do it.
Because of the friction.
Yeah, because it's just the friction and the belt grips and stuff. They're pulling you from the belt here whilst they're sat on your pinky toe and pushing your knee in with their delahiva hook. That's.
So what are your tips for the old fellas, man?
So yeah, for the old fellas, you better warm up very well and be extremely mobile before you start, because otherwise there's just going to be some random shit that's going to break your leg. And also you got to be, I would say, do fewer rounds and do them with a lot of attention to like awareness of where you're putting your limbs and stuff. Because for example, like people sitting, like W sitting I think it's called, where they have their feet on the outside of their knees.
Oh yeah.
Like, or they have their toes pointing out, like that when they're sat. Like, I see that all the time and I just cringe. Like, every time there's white belts, I just look at it like, oh, like, you should be rolling over your pinky toe. Yes. You know what I mean? Your feet should be folding in under you. That's a much safer way of doing it. But people don't have the foot, like, plantar mobility to do that. Yeah, so they end up fucking up their knees that way. It's just cringy watching it. It's so cringy. Yeah. Like watching white belts, bro, it's sickening.
So I think, like, especially for the older fellas, it's super like important to be strong, number one, also mobile, but this gas tank as well. If old fellas, they're getting gas, they're more likely to just crumble under pressure, do big hip bridges, do big explosive movements, pop their shoulder, hurt their neck because they're just panicking.
It's like body weight and people just getting collapsed on, that for me. And that's from people being lazy, like they're fucking exhausted, they go to post and it's like a lazy post, and they get matched up.
So
basically take rest rounds if you're older. you just say I'm old, fuck you, and then and make sure you warm up properly. And like, if you're fat, like let's say you're seriously like overweight and just not ready for jiu-jitsu body-wise. Yeah, but yeah, go to jiu-jitsu, do all the warm-ups and stuff, and try and take it very easy, and just let yourself get fucked up until you're able to safely work yourself out of positions. Like, don't go crazy, because your body's not ready for crazy rounds, basically.
Crazy movements,
yeah. Yeah, if you're not really warm, or you're feeling like you're going to get injured, you should probably take it very easily.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been getting this question a lot, actually, especially from my online guys, and just people in general. Progressive overload methods. We talked about this last week. Rate of perceived exertion, reps and reserves. How and when to push yourself in the gym. I guess it's like, ideally, to get better at resistance training and to actually improve your strength, training needs to be harder over time.
Yeah.
Every session, you're just looking to make it a little bit harder than it was last time. Let's say you've got a 12-week block of training, and then maybe you in between that 6-week block, you may change some variations of exercise very minorly. Each time you go to train, whether you're looking for strength or hypertrophy, it's very goal dependent. You can manipulate the training, the way you make training harder through a variety of things. Either the amount of reps that you do, the weight you put on the bar, the tempo that you use. Let's use weight as an example. So let's say you were deadlifting like 100 kilos. That was like reasonably challenging for the first set of 5. And the last set of 5 was also reasonably challenging. Next week we could look to do like 100, 103, 103. That's a win. Take the win. Don't get too greedy. Week after, okay, cool. 103, 103, 105. Week after, try and do 105 across the board. Week after, 108, etc. People often get quite greedy. They'll be like, okay, I did 100 this week. Next week I'm gonna try 110. And that form goes all over the place. I didn't feel as good. It wasn't there, because you're going too heavy too soon. If you make minor adjustments and just go up very gradually, you'll be able to keep good technique whilst lifting at like in a challenging manner.
Would you say that's more important at the lighter weights, where it's a bigger percentage?
Big time.
So if you 60 to 70 is way bigger than 100 to 110.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it'll like, even if you're deadlifting like 200 kgs and it's fucking hard, moving to 210 kgs is still going to be fucking hard, because like as you get to the top end weights and as you get to a higher intensity of work and higher like load of weight, it's still going to be very challenging. Even though it's a smaller percentage increase, it's still going to be fucking hard to put 10 kgs on a deadlift.
Okay, yeah. So it basically could be kind of linear in a way.
Yeah, can be linear until it's not, until you get to like the more advanced stage. But most people asking this question aren't at the advanced stage, they're all at the beginner and intermediate stage, where you need to focus on having really fucking good technique, doing that really well so you don't get injured, and just make it slightly harder over time. If you just do those things, you're gonna fucking nail it. Yeah. If something feels too heavy, like say you're doing like a bench press and you get to the last and you're doing like 3 sets of 10, you get to the 10th rep and you're like, I could probably push a few more reps here, do a few more reps. And you feel like you'll get a bit more technical, like you'll break down, like going up an extra 3 or 5 kgs, I'm not going to be able to get the 10 reps. Cool. Go on that 10th rep, push for like 12 to 15, and that still gains. Then the next session, be like, okay, I did 15 reps at 100 kgs. Now I'm going to try, now I'll try 103. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So there's a variety of ways you can manage progressive overload depending on how the program's set. Either you can increase sets as well, sets week to week, or reps week to week, or increasing load week to week, or using different angles of training. Like for example, if you want to improve your deadlifting, pulling from the floor, if you know it's a weakness, you start doing deficit deadlifts. Yeah. Because that's going to help the if you start from a deficit, it's going to help the initial pull from the floor. So then when you return to normal deadlifts, that pull from the floor is going to feel much easier.
Nice.
Yeah? Yeah. I guess like people, you need to be fucking patient. It's going to take time. Ideally, if you want to have a long career of lifting weights, especially like lifting heavy shit and getting super jacked, you can do that in like a 10 to 20 year period. If you've got excellent technique and you just manage that sensibly. Like I went to the gym this morning, this guy had no fucking idea how to squat. His fucking elbows are inside his fucking...
Christian.
Huh? Yeah, this guy, Christian. You watch him, he goes 60, awful form. Elbows coming in, terrible form. Puts on 80, awful form. Puts on 90. And you're like,
not someone you were training.
no,
okay,
no, someone I was training. I was witnessing at like
a man's back.
a normal gym. I'm like, bro, like you're gonna fucking hurt yourself. Like, how many times have we seen that into a gym? People have no idea what they're doing. Well, the way you lift weights could say something different. No, Christian Osbeck, he's lifting better and better each week. But yeah, get fucking, have really good technique. Feel comfortable. Know what the cues are. Know where you need to be in the exercise. Slowly progress that week to week to week, and then when you can't progress anymore, then you can change the variation of the exercise. Yeah. To like, okay, if you're doing high bar back squats, try low bar back squats, or try front squats, or try Zercher squats.
I feel like people just underestimate how technical the moves are.
Yes.
In a gym, like very few people will go to the weights room and just lift something perfectly in the first go.
No way.
Like it's like or close enough to perfect that it's safe, but I think most people lift like fucking awfully and then think that it's okay.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, deadlifts hurt my back, deadlifts are bad for your back. It's like, bro, you don't know where you are.
Yeah, you're just doing it wrong.
You don't know where your body is right now. It takes time to build this skill, and like anything, the more time you dedicate to learning a skill properly at weights that you can lift it properly at, the better you'll get.
Fair. And that's that.
That's that rant.
That's that. Bismillah.
Let's go back to another. Let's go back to another JJ's.
A jiu-jitsu question. Which gym do you train at? I do open mats in the morning. I try and go to different gyms every day. So Monday, training at the jiu-jitsu gym in Norbiton. I used to go to Jed's as well, Jed Hughes. Tuesday, go to London Grapple in the morning, sometimes RGA. Wednesday, I do a wrestling private. Thursday, we either go to Gauntlet Fight Academy in Ealing Broadway or RGA. Friday, we go to Ross's at London Grapple again. Saturday, I teach a class, so no open mat there. Sunday, do weights, so no open mat there. And yeah, that's it. And I used to train at Shoot during COVID, London Shoot.
Shout out to Shoot Fighters.
Well, I was part of the athlete program, so it was allowed, it was legal. And what else? Oh yeah, and that was it. Yeah. That's basically all the gyms. So yeah, try and train at different gyms all the time so you get different training partners, so you're not basically getting used to beating certain people and getting good at beating one type of person, you're just improving your overall game for everyone.
When did you decide to just do open mats?
When I came back from uni and there was no one to train with at the gym I was at. Oh yeah, and New School Jiu-Jitsu. Sorry, New School Jiu-Jitsu, yeah. We used to go there on Friday before COVID, but then that sort of died off, so COVID, fucking COVID. So yeah, that sort of died off, but yeah.
Interesting tactic. So you just thought, fuck it, there's no one really at my gym enough to get a good training rounds in. So
yeah, like I'll always train, basically me, Max and Sylvie will go to different gyms to try and get different training partners. We also used to go to Urban Warriors in Vauxhall, but basically we would go to open mats and then people would start disappearing from the open mats. Until it was just us at the open mat.
Why? Scared?
I have no idea.
Yeah, that's scared.
But now people are going to the open mat, so it's good. It's not like anyone's like running from us or some shit. It's just.
Do you ever train at Urban Kings?
Yeah, we used to train there. Yeah, that's where I met Max and Sylvie, who's at Urban Kings on the Monday. That was a great open mat, but then they shut it down.
Yeah, I went there one time years ago. I didn't train with you. I don't think you were there, but I trained with Jad. Sylvie fucked me up for 2 rounds.
Yeah. It
was really fun.
Good, yeah.
It was really fun.
Sylvie hadn't even really done jiu-jitsu then. He'd done it for like a year or 2.
Really?
Yeah, now he's a
Blackbelt.
different beast, yeah.
Yeah, different beast. Yeah.
Different beast.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
That's that.
Let's go into another strength one. Stretching and flexibility. How to increase flexibility and mobility. Interesting. I guess look, to increase your overall flexibility, like you need to be doing some kind of stretching, whether it's yoga or in my opinion, gymnastic style of stretching is one of the best ways to increase your overall flexibility. I think, where you're holding stretches for like 90 seconds to 2 minutes and you're doing a variety of like dynamic and static stretches. The stretching session should last anywhere between 30 to 45 minutes. It's fucking intense, it's pretty boring, but it will increase your flexibility big time. And also you get a bit of strength work in there because it's dynamic. So you're not just like being super flexible without being strong. You have to hold things isometrically in certain positions to increase your overall mobility as well. But also strength training for the large majority of people, doing like strength training exercises like deficit reverse, deficit Bulgarians, or just getting to do like full range of motion squats, deficit deadlifts, those kind of things will definitely increase your overall flexibility.
Would you say from people being unbalanced in their muscles? Like, for example, I can't do that too well, probably because my chest was more strong than my back or whatever, or just from general posture.
But I think a lot of, like, especially a lot of guys who are like athletic, they are going to struggle with like getting their hands behind their backs because their chest is far more developed.
But why? Just from Jitsu, you reckon?
Yeah, just from Jitsu, and it's not. Also, how often have you? How often have you?
Literally never.
Exactly. That's right. But if you took time, and this is a classic trade-off. It's like, oh, if we took time to make you more flexible, would that improve your performance? Probably not. Do you know what I mean? Maybe you'd expect, like we did 2 stretches for a minute because your shoulder was getting a little bit jacked up.
Yeah.
And then
and now it's fine.
That's not to say stretching is going to fix any injuries, or like working out imbalances is the key to victory. Like, just because you have an imbalance somewhere doesn't mean it's going to be problematic to your performance. But like what would you say? Being like, especially in the lower body, being more mobile will help your jiu-jitsu.
In the lower body, yeah, that's key. Yeah, upper body, I don't really see the need for that much flexibility. Maybe like defending submissions, but you don't really get like Kimura too much at that level. I reckon it's not going to happen.
Yeah, but you're still reasonably flexible. But also, like in the upper body, like having a flexible upper back and upper spine is super important.
Spine. Yeah, so yeah, spine. Just being able to round your back is super important, but. The legs, I think, having really strong hamstring flexibility or hamstring strength and flexibility is pretty key, super as well as like knees to chest, and then
so hip flexors need to. The hip flexors are going to take a fucking beating. The TFLs are going to take a beating. Quads are going to take a beating in jiu-jitsu, and the adductors as well. Also glutes. Yeah, I would say. Like, I know you don't have a specific stretch routine. We've stretched a couple of times, but it's just going to be like time management for us. I see you twice a week.
Yeah.
I'll send you some stuff to do, but you also like stretching at jiu-jitsu because you'll be like, I need to play guard more, just get into a deep position.
Basically. Yeah, that's literally how I became flexible at the start. I wasn't flexible when I started jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I was reasonably flexible, but it was just me at 52 kilos, and then like all the like huge like bouncers and stuff that would be the only ones doing jiu-jitsu back then, and they would just force you to be flexible. Yes. Pause, but you're getting stacked and shit all the time, so you just had to be flexible, or else you break.
I also think you're just a bit of a freak athlete as well. Like having strong, like for most people they'll just break them, but you have like strong abs as well, so then smash your lower back up too much.
Yeah.
Learning how to like not put so much pressure on your lower back because of the judo experience you had.
Or just relaxing as well.
Yes.
Like when you're in these positions, I feel like people's back can go further than they think.
For sure.
Yeah, I also think literally spending 2 years on a computer improved my back mobility. The rounding never left me.
The 2 years of RuneScape, man.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about RuneScape. Chopping that wood every day.
Man, what a quote.
Extracurricular RuneScape.
We get the reel on that.
That's my tip.
RuneScape.
If you want to improve your lower back or upper back grounding.
I would say for hobbyists, especially like me, it's going to be super important that you have some kind of flexibility and stretching routine with us. Never before training, after training, or on a different day. Like it could be on the same day, but have a designated space where you do some kind of stretching. I like to do mine just before I go to bed because it relaxes me and I sleep really well.
Nice.
That's that's what I reckon.
I never do that. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu.
ADCC strategy or just overall improvement? Well, overall improvement. I have a strategy for each person that I may face, but I'm not gonna neglect things because I want to work on something else. I'm just gonna overall improve, and then depending who I'm facing, you have a different strategy for them based on what you reckon they're best at.
Are you excited for the stand-up?
For the wrestling?
Yeah.
I'm excited for the stand-up. Well, I've been doing wrestling for a while. I feel like people think I'm shit at wrestling because I pull guard often, but yeah, I just pull guard because it's easier. It's not necessarily that I can't wrestle.
Yeah.
The only thing with wrestling is like training at high intensity, you're more likely to get injured. So I got to be careful how you train wrestling, and like when you actually put in your 100% work when you're wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, like sparring really hard day in, day out. Also, because it's not like wrestling rounds, we do like 3 minutes. It's like
Jiu-jitsu rounds,
yeah,
5-6
jiu-jitsu
minutes.
rounds, yeah, 5, 6 or 10-minute rounds of just like straight wrestling. Sometimes you double up the rounds as well.
Fucking brutal.
Yeah, so it's not the same pace as wrestling, so probably the techniques that work will differ compared to actual wrestling tournaments. Like, I know Livsy's got a good fireman's throw, but I feel like for grappling, that's a pretty risky move, to be honest.
Yes.
Like a fireman's carry. But he's better at wrestling than me, so he obviously, it's working for him. But
Have you trained with him much?
no, I've never trained with him.
No.
But I've seen his instructionals on how he does the fireman's carry, and it's interesting because he is aware of the dangers of it, but I feel like unless you're mad strong and you can just lift people off a lunge,
He's
like,
pretty fucking strong.
yeah, he's basically going from one knee down to the floor and lifting people, which is essentially a lunge with like 95 kilos on your back.
Yeah.
And he's doing that at full speed while someone's fucking wriggling on his back. So let's not underestimate how ridiculously strong you need to be to actually pull that off. And if you do a kneeling or one of those walking categories, you're way more likely to get put in a crucifix. So certain techniques aren't going to work for grappling that work for wrestling. Yeah. And this is a good example of them, ones that are not worth doing, or ones that are like super high energy that will work well in a wrestling match, like doing a shitload of blast doubles. Like if you shoot 10 times,
energy expenditure, man.
yeah, even if you get put in a front headlock and you've got to spin your way out of it, that's super exhausting compared to like just doing little low risk moves and exactly, foot sweeps and that sort of thing.
Foot sweeps.
Yeah, trying to foot sweep. Like if you look at Gordon, just pulling the head, foot sweep, bit of hand fighting, pulling the head, foot sweep, and it's just so low risk and high reward.
It's true, isn't it? Like you watch all of his last couple of matches, he's just kept trying tire. Pedro.
No shooting.
Yeah, no shooting.
Didn't shoot, just really good hand fighting and foot sweeps. Like, to be fair, I think people are not giving him enough credit for how clean the foot sweeps were, because they're fucking hard to hit in no-gi. Foot sweeps, yeah, so foot sweeps are good, and yeah, like you're saying, hip throws are good for like counters, I guess, but I would say more important is going to be basic fundamental wrestling, like without losing head position, single leg to body lock, because like realistically in grappling, if you don't have a body lock, they're like a second away from slipping out at all times. So you want to get to a body lock as soon as possible. That would be the best from standing for me.
Keyed it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, watching
front headlock as well.
Front headlock.
Put that everywhere. If you can get a front headlock on someone, what is it? Andrew says front headlock is like a secret ingredient. Just put it everywhere in your cooking, and people think you're a great chef.
Just keep trying to get a front headlock.
Keep trying to get a front headlock. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great tip. I liked it. Great analogy.
I've watched that Pedro Munoz. Is that his name? Pedro Munoz?
Yeah.
Gordon Wright. I've watched that match like 4 times now. He's just keeps pulling at his head, pulling his head, trip.
Yeah.
Mourinho, yeah?
Yeah.
Pulling, trip, pulling, just keeps trying to
It's how he pulls as well. He holds the back of the head and does like this wobbling sort of thing, like, it's fucking annoying. I can only imagine. Yeah.
And
I'll use that now. Great.
Yeah. Is it working well for you?
Yeah, it's working well for me. Yeah. I'll ask Christian.
Christian?
It's working well.
It's working well.
Yeah.
He said it's working well.
He said it's
Everyone
working
heard
well.
that.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that's my plan for ADCC.
Nice, man. Pre-training and competition day snacks. We hit the meal deal last week. Let's go again.
Pre-training snacks. I wouldn't eat something very close to training unless I failed to eat for like earlier throughout the day. But in general, I'll wake up like literally I've eaten a whole packet of donuts right before training and trained fine. But ideally I wouldn't do that. Yeah, ideally it would be like hour and a half, 2 hours before training.
Yeah.
And have like eggs. You just eat food. That is normal.
People often confuse it, like, what kind of snacks should I do? It's like, bro, just eat some kind of carbohydrates and some kind of protein, you're good.
Yeah.
Like, you could have a shake with some fruit an hour and a half before, or you could literally eat donuts, like, whatever. Just get some kind of carbohydrates in, ideally some protein, great.
Yeah, like fasted training, I don't like it anymore. I used to do that because you feel good at the start of training, you feel like sharp and alert, but I feel like you get injured way more because halfway through you get fucked basically. You're there and everyone's just getting warm now their food's digested and you're there like, oh shit.
Fucked,
Here we go, better go drink some water.
Yeah.
Finished.
Get the electrolytes in.
Yeah, exactly, but it's not enough basically. You want like a decent breakfast, not too big, right, unless you've got a big gap before. You have to judge when you eat, and then if you want the perfect training session, you want to eat a big meal and then wait the correct amount of time, or eat a small meal and wait a small amount of time.
Some of my athletes were doing the fasting before training, and I was like, mate, it's just we changed that, got a bit of carbohydrate, got a bit of protein in, hour to an hour and a half before. Game changer.
Yeah.
Game changer.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
Competition days, I want to hear your opinion on this. Same, no?
Yeah, same. Try and just eat as normal shit as possible, especially even if you just want to put yourself mentally in your normal state of mind of training. If you feel good going to training most days, which you shouldn't really, you should feel pretty fucked if you're training all the time. But yeah, just eat normal food.
People try and mix it up. They're like, I'm going to try this on competition day. Don't do that. It's just a normal fucking day. It's the same thing. Just show up to training.
Yeah. You can't expect your comp day to be your best day.
Yeah.
Like I know people do their training cycles to peak and stuff, but realistically, you're not going to feel your best on comp day. So you may as well just expect to feel shit, and anything better than that is a plus.
Nice. I agree.
Nice.
I agree to that, man.
Yeah.
People go, it's competition day. Today's the day.
How to be perfect. But
all that pressure on yourself as well. Just fucking just get on with it.
Just get over yourself.
So yeah, snacks. Just eat the same you would in fucking training day.
Alright.
Man, that's all our questions through, man.
What about
What else we got?
optimal amount of BJJ session?
Yeah, optimal amount of BJJ per week to make progress without overtraining. What would you say?
Without overtraining?
Yeah, let's go through like
That's going to differ, isn't it?
say I want to go to like white belt to, white belt. Like, how do you get better at jiu-jitsu? What's the optimal amount of training that you think you should
Just
do?
as much as you can do, yeah.
Much-
Just do it as much as possible. And it's more about how you train as well than necessarily what you're doing, I guess. But yeah, any sort of training is definitely going to make you like better, I would say. But it's just like how quickly you're going to improve.
Yeah.
Like if you're just like jumping around and just doing spazzy shit, basically, you'll be harder to tap and you might get more submissions, but you're not going to necessarily be able to like teach jiu-jitsu better or actually understand it better in a way that is replicable.
What are your thoughts on Joe Blow doing the fundamentals class on Monday night at 5 p.m.?
Yeah.
Joe Blow absolutely from 5 p.m. till 9 p.m. staying for 4 classes consecutive back to back, or 3 classes back to back. We've all seen it.
And it depends how fit they are, actually.
No, but then they're exhausted. They get to the sparring of the second round, the intermediate class, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so tired. I just did the fundamentals." So they get to the advanced class and they're exhausted and they can't do anything.
Yeah, like then I guess if you're doing 3 back to back is too much, but you could definitely do 2 sessions back to back. You can still spar hard. I think also Joe Blow is quite a vague. It's quite a wide berth of person. Like Joe Blow could be like just some guy that's coming off CrossFit and he's just ridiculously fit. Like, I recommend just do 3 classes back to back. But the main thing is the concentration. Like even if your body can handle it, you can't concentrate for like 4 hours straight.
No way.
Without a break. Like that's another thing that you notice if you're doing open mats all the time. Is concentration will start to slip about, an hour and something in.
Yeah.
And
then you're like, that's enough.
Yeah, either it's enough or you can like take a little 2 minutes and just like try and regroup a little bit and then go again.
Yeah.
Or switch up the rounds or something if you're feeling too, like you're not really concentrating properly anymore. That tends to just be like, if you fast, it's all well and good having focus for like 45 minutes, but then after that you're just like, damn, I need some water or something. I need to sit down.
I can't concentrate.
I need a 12 and a can of Coke.
So you think like so I guess to answer that question, optimal amount of BJJ sessions per week, as much as you can recover from effectively.
Yeah, and yeah, that's it basically. That's it.
If you can recover from a session every day, do that. If you can recover from a few double sessions per week.
Minimum to progress, I would say do 3 a week, because otherwise you're leaving too much gap in between.
Nice.
Also, especially if you miss the occasional session for whatever reason, like everyone misses sessions for whatever BS, especially when you're starting, there are more priorities. If you're only training 3 times a week, jiu-jitsu is not your priority in life, obviously. So you have other things that are going to invariably eventually take over your session. Then you've only done 2 sessions in a week. And that's like 3 days in between each session. So per session, you're just trying to recap what you did like 3 days ago.
You're chasing it.
You're just going to be shit for a long time. You like the quick. Also, I've sparred with white belts who are training like 7 times a week, and they feel very good. You could feel that they're like a black belt. I've sparred with black belts who are training like once or twice a week, and I'm like, this guy's fucking shit. Like, and then you train with a white belt who's training 7 times a week. You're like, damn, like you know, he's been training like a month, or not a month, but you know, he's been training like a year, and he's fucking good already just because he's training so much. So
and also some people get the hang of it really quick.
Yeah, but then so people get the hang of it really fast, then they plateau a bit, then they get more of a hang. Like even the people that you think like, damn, he's gotten so good so fast, that's about as good as they get. They're not going to continue on that trajectory. I've started to notice that if you're getting discouraged with people getting really good really fast, they tend not to continue on that same trajectory, right? It's like.
Yeah, it's never linear.
Yeah, it's not exactly, it goes up and then trails off, and even if it goes up again sharply afterwards, it will trail off again, so not to worry about those people. But basically, if you train all the time, you're going to feel sharp regardless of how long you've been training for. If you're training like once a week and you've trained for like 20 years prior to that, you're still going to feel like a guy that trains once a week.
Yeah.
Just timing in that.
Interesting points about the concentration and like the 3 classes back to back. Just make sure you can fucking concentrate.
Yeah, because not concentrating, you fuck yourself very quickly, or just do dumb shit.
Get bad habits. Get bad habits going, or injure yourself even worse. Yeah.
Sometimes worth it.
Key points.
Yeah.
Any interesting characters you've seen this week?
Probably.
A few crackheads.
Yeah.
People love your crackhead stories, man.
I'm thinking if I've seen some. I'm sure I've seen some. I did see some crackers on the way back from Croydon, obviously. Oh no, I was on the way to Croydon. There was some cracker going and asking for money, and someone actually called him out and said, "Why don't you stop, mate? Terrorising all these people on their way back from work. Just stop. You don't even need the money, do you?" And he was like, "Sorry, mate. I was just asking politely." And everyone enjoyed it. Everyone loved it. He was also drinking, so.
The ultimate combo.
Yeah, the guy who was asking for money, who was humbly asking for money, but instead of speaking to the whole carriage, he was like turning to a group of people, speaking very quietly. "Do you have any change that you could potentially spare me? Like anything at all?" He didn't even ask for food, which is just like the cash. Number one. If you're not asking for food, then you're a fucking crackhead, basically.
Bro, one of my clients, he went to the ACM. Some guy comes near him and he's like, "Stay the fuck away from me. Don't come near me when I'm at fucking cash point." Blew up at him. And the guy's like, whoa. He's like, "Get the fuck away from me." And then after he got the money out, he was like, "What do you want?" And the guy's like, you know, man, can I have some cash? Like, and he's like, "What do you want the cash for?" He goes, "I need to like buy some stuff for my flat." He's like, "Why the fuck would I give you money for money, like in your flat?" He's like, "Man, you know, I need new stuff for my flat, man."
Mark from Hoyton, the Scouse guy, he basically, if he's got a tenner and a crackhead asks him for crack, he goes, "If you tell me it's for crack, I'll give it to you." It's a fair deal. If you're honest, I'll give it to you. Yeah. If you tell me it's for crack, all right, mate, it's for crack. All right.
Here you go, take it.
I respect that.
Contributing.
Everyone wins. The crackhead learns the first step of recovery, which is admitting. And Mark gets a funny story that gets publicised.
Lols. Great success, man.
All right, yeah.
Remember, rate our podcast on Spotify, subscribe to YouTube, buy my
DVD, attend the Triple Threat Summer Camp.
Yeah.
Without the scramble
No
bit.
Spain, no gain, man.
Attend the next summer camp.
And ADCC is coming up in less than a month away.
Yeah, buy my NFT.
You're gonna NFT?
I'm gonna have an NFT made of me. It'll be like a top trumps card. The scoring will be decided based on how well I do at ADCC. So, you know.
Man, I hope you win this fucking division. That'll be so
That
sick.
would be great, yeah.
That'd be so
Needless to say, that'd be good.
That'd be good.
That'd be decent.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's, what else? Nah, that's it.
Subscribe, tell people about the podcast if you enjoyed that. And we'll see you next week.
Men don't talk.
Men don't talk. Great to see you.
But we talk. Thank you. Great to see you.
Thanks, guys.